welcome to another episode of Beautiful Subconscious. I'm Shell Marie. So as always, we're going to kick it off with a mantra intentional card, because there is nothing more powerful than being an intention or being intentional with every moment that you possibly can be. And maybe the intention is just to be easy breezy and just fully present, but still having the intention instead of unconsciously living is where it is at. So for today's episode, we are going to be drawing upon, it is safe for me to express my authentic self. Cool. So I would love to hear how that lands for you, and how it is safe for you to express your authentic self. Where is it happening? Where isn't it? Where are you allowing yourself to be fully expressive, or where have you not? Instantly, actually, isn't that funny? It's like I'm telling myself that too. Like I'm probably not being as loud and, I don't know, animated in this episode as what I have been in the other ones, because I know that there's people in the other room. So it's like interesting that, am I even expressing myself authentically? So that is a great reminder. And I love that, because we're always getting guided no matter where we are. So today's episode is going to be about doing the work and how we can get stuck in that in-between space, getting stuck in the in-between space. So what does that mean? Today's episode is going to talk to you about how once we're doing the work, like once we let go of our stuff, we can often get stuck in that, all right, well, now what? Because if I'm not playing that game anymore, then what? And so that next cycle of like where to go next can often be equally as fear evoking as then just the fears that you're so familiar with in the first place. So we're going to talk about that, talk about like what's a tool for you to use in relation to being aware if that's happening to you, and also what we've got in store coming up so shortly. So firstly, doing the work and how we can kind of get stuck. So what do I mean with that is often I see people when they embark on this journey of facing their traumas and wanting to just get to the root cause of why they feel their emotional turbulence, or why they are reactive in their relationships, or what's holding them back from really leaning in and just finding a bit more meaning in their career, or why are they not doing anything for themselves? Why can't they give themselves full permission because it seems selfish? Like, where is all that come from? So when people start to embark on this journey where they're like, okay, it's time. I know that I would love to remove this blockage out of my life. I'm not sure what this blockage is. They start to go on this journey and they connect to a more truer version of who they are. They get to lift up this heaviness that they've carried unconsciously, that they have just identified with being the norm, like it's always been this way. They start to uphold boundaries and bring awareness to themselves that they may not have had boundaries in the first place, which they're just like, damn, it's been like that my whole life. And so new changes will start to occur, and then they start to be more connected to a truer sense of who they are. And so all those stories that they held on to and those identities that they have, lived out through the lens of fear. So these fear-based identities that may have kept you connected closer to your family, or maybe that's the thing that's kept you with the friend group that you have, or maybe that's like the thing that has helped you in your career. When you start to let go of that, and that tight grip that you've had in and around it, and you've got that free hand, it's kind of like, all right, well, what am I supposed to grab onto next? And you're in that space between where you were and where you're going to be. And that space requires a lot of faith. And that faith isn't often what we have ever been wired to learn how to operate from, because we love control. We love to stick with the familiar. We love to live out of survival, our subconscious had at least. And so to then switch gears and go into full trust and full faith can be scary AF. And so in that in-between space, if they're not holding on to the fear, but they're not sure what they're reaching out for yet, but they're just trusting with their heart and letting their heart magnetize that towards them and attract it in, there can be a moment of like, oh shit, no, I'm reverting back. I'm going to grab something else. And then it's going to be this loop of like, well, look, here's something else. See, like I knew it. I moved that. Yeah. But here's the next thing. So I better focus on that. And so you can get into this cycle of finding the next beautiful junk to work on because we're not familiar with staying in the space of faith and staying in the space of trust. And so we can just idle in this like next thing to look at to move through. What's the next part of myself that I need to address? Because there's obviously something here because that outcome hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened and dropped into my lap. So that I must be blocking myself. And so that can be really easy to fall into thinking. And so what do you do when that happens? What happens generally is you will firstly, understand that you are in that space and you need to hold some true self-compassion for yourself. And I don't know how you can weave in it is safe for me to express my authentic self. You can authentically say like, hey, you know what? This is so uncomfortable for me, but I'm going to be in it anyway because I trust. I'm going to show up because I have faith in what's happening. I'm just going to allow myself like, yeah, you can authentically express we don't have to try to positively think our way out of it. We can show up and express ourselves authentically. Like it feels currently unnatural for me, but I'm going to just trust in the unknown because the unknown is where every dream first originates from. And so what do you do when you're in the in-between space? Express yourself authentically, journal it out, and just keep your mind's eye on what it is that you're wanting to achieve. What's that embodiment that you're like, yes, like that is the outcome that I want here. That's the life that I want to live. Those aspirations I deeply know I deserve. So even though I might not have the how, even though my hand is reaching out for that next rung of whatever it is to hold on to, I'm going to keep my hand and my heart open and I'm going to trust that it's coming towards me. And that is what I think is so, so powerful. What I noticed within this work is we can loop in wanting to do the work more and more and more and more. And subconscious mastery is a powerful thing. And I believe the start of everywhere and everything that we desire and we deserve. But simultaneously, we also need the strategies. We also need the strategies of where we want to go and draw upon the people that have achieved it and what they've done. And so you can do it in a way that's real for you because you've moved your blockages subconsciously. You've mastered that. And now there's strategies in place for you to use because you back yourself, because you're no longer held back by the fears that you once identified with. And that is where I'm leading you into within our program. So the program that's coming up soon that I cannot wait to share is all about subconscious mastery and strategy. So you can accelerate your success in the areas of your health, your relationships, your career, and your money. So if one or more of those areas in your life you feel like they run you, then this is going to be a game changer for you because not only are you going to master your subconscious, but you are going to get strategies and practical tools to create new habits and the guidance and support along the way. So if you are interested, I'm going to attach in the show notes a link to the waitlist and you can be the first to be informed when all the info drops. I would love to see you on there. And this is what it's about because more and more people are becoming aware that they are so much more than what they give themselves credit for. So we are going to activate that in their subconscious as well as provide practical tools. Thank you for today. I appreciate your ears. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you listening. And I appreciate you sending this episode and any episode to the people that you believe would benefit because we're all on this journey together. Not one of us know exactly how to do life perfectly. We're all just winging it along the way. And so if there's any ways that we can relate and connect and be like, shit, awesome. Here I was thinking I was the only one. You're not. There are so many people, including myself, that are just like, all right, I'm going in this direction. I'll see how it goes and I'll let you know. And that person did that. So I'm going to see how that lands for me in my authentic way and just go. But we are all just trial and error, working it out, trying to figure out what's the most truest way to live for us all individually. So I got you. Thank you for today. Thank you for your ears. If you found this beneficial, please leave a review. Please like this episode. Please pass it on to whoever you believe this could help. Until next week, take care of you. Guys, if you're ready to get to the bottom of your crippling self-doubt and finally resolve it from its root source, or if you're feeling like your career isn't hitting the mark and you're questioning where life's heading, if you crave relief from physical pain and just need some real answers, and if you're ready to flip your financial script and rewrite your money story, not only through your subconscious, but with professional practical tools, then jump on board our waitlist now. This 6-month program is breaking new ground in blending a subconscious mastery and expert strategy for your success. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on this transformational journey. We are diving deep into those unconscious barriers, and with a dedicated team, we are focusing on your health, your wealth, your relationships, and your career. So hit the show notes, click apply, jump on the wait list, because this is the way to pave your path to true empowerment. I can't wait.